Welcome to What Are You Doing? So tonight this will be about Facebook. This is about Facebook because of course, I hadn't been on Facebook, and I would guess it's probably been about a year and a half. I've been off and on. I'll come on, go off, not really, hadn't really been paying too much attention to uh, things going on Facebook. So Um, so anyway, the first part of this, I just feel like Facebook has changed. And the way I feel like it's changed is, man, for some reason, I'm getting a whole lot of friend requests, and and it's it's pretty weird, man, because I know I posted some videos from my YouTube channels on, and not to really say that I think that's the issue, because it's kind of funny because now the type of friend request that's coming through is half naked women. So so of course I'm looking at this, and and a few of them I accepted. Uh, and of course, if you didn't have a picture, I didn't accept it. If you had your middle finger sticking up, I didn't accept it. And this is your profile picture. If uh what's the other one? I know it was some people in their profile picture with guns pointed at the camera. I'm not accepting that. I ain't into that dangerous stuff, man. I'm almost 50 years old, so I'm not definitely not gonna be accepting dangerous people. I'm just too old for that, man. Um so but I'm doing this video because it's kind of it's weird. It's just weird, man. When I was on Facebook, uh, just say a year and a half ago, when I was on and off and on and off, and just and I would pay attention or just look at some things. I used to post stuff. Then, um, it was all it was just normal to me. You probably get one or two friend requests, maybe two or three a month if you get that many. So I know something is different on Facebook. I don't know if they changed their algorithm some kind of way, or especially the friend requests, because most of these friend requests only had, like, most of them did have at least one connection where you knew somebody that they knew. And of course, I guess, I guess. Um so here's the main reason I'm talking about this is because, and I'm gonna go into some other stuff. I'm gonna try to make this brief. It's probably not gonna be brief, but I'm gonna try to make this brief. But here's the thing. The first thing, when it comes down to the friend requests, um, you know, it's a lot of young women. It's a lot of young women. Some of these women probably not even old as my youngest daughter. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, I would never, I would never be with a woman that young. Uh, I mean, right now, in a month I'll be 49. So for me to for me to be dealing with somebody that's 20 years younger than me is crazy. I mean, look, some people can do it, and some men can do it. But that's not a problem I would ever want. Now, just saying that, um, my profile, I actually updated my profile and said, okay, um, you know, put married on it because it wasn't on, married wasn't on there at the time. I've only, let me see, I've been married about June, May, June, July. So I've been married about 7 months now, about 7 months. So I updated my profile, and was thinking maybe, okay, you update your profile, they won't you know, most women, they'll look at that and say, "Oh, he married." As it is what it is. I'm not gonna friend request. So I'm starting to look at this, and I'm in these friend requests, and most of the women on there half naked. And it's just, man, it's just different. I don't want to sound like like a weirdo, or something. I know my brother always say I'm square, I'm a square, and I'm green, and all this other kind of stuff. But that's okay. I'm quite happy with the way I am, and the way my life is going. I'm quite happy. So you know, I'm just looking at this, and it's just, it's I know there's something to this. Um, I had a friend request came in, and I accepted it, and about maybe 5 minutes later, young lady come on, and she was like, "Hi, how are you doing?" or whatever the case may be. I said, "Oh, I'm doing well. Uh, um, I'm married." And look, if I don't know you, if I don't know you, asking me, "Hi, how are you doing?" Yes, that seems pretty innocent. But I look, I've been around for 48 years, okay? So I know what this is about. Let me talk about this for a second. There's nothing I can do for you because I mean, I see stuff where guys, older guys will start messing with these young ladies, and I, you know, I just have always been you're not gonna get nothing out of me. I mean, even if I was a single man, even if I was single, first of all, I wouldn't deal with you if you was under my age range that I wanted. That's number one, and number two, you couldn't ask me for nothing because especially if I don't know you, I mean, that's just not how I roll. I don't know how other people do it, but that's just not how I roll. I mean, if you ask me, if like my brother said, my little brother said this, and I've never heard anybody else say this. Um, and I'm not that type of guy because once I get to know you and if I'm serious about you, then yes, you can ask me for something, but it's trust me, it's not gonna you're not gonna ask me to buy you a car, nothing like that, nothing stupid like that. But I'm saying that because my brother made the comment, if you need me, I don't need you. And my brother is a clown. So it was funny, but I mean, look, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not out here paying no female bills. It's not gonna happen. So, the other thing I want to hit on is when your Facebook profile says you're married, and I know it's just like a ring. I hear people, oh, they come after you if you because that way they know they don't have to worry about you wanting to be with them all the time, and so hey, so I was actually looking, and I'm going to another part of this video. I was actually looking at the CDC, and I couldn't really see where the breakdown between black male and black female. I couldn't see, and even looking at looking on the CDC, I didn't, and I didn't take a long time to do it. I was just trying to see if I could get some numbers to try to get an idea of the ratio. Now, what they said ratio wise, men and women all together, they say it was according to the CDC, they said it was it 30, I think it was really close. The numbers were really close. So many women to men. It was only, let me see if I remember that number. I don't want to lie to y'all. But it wasn't that far off. Now, men and women, but that wasn't specifically black. And that's what I was looking for, specifically black uh, men versus black women. So the one thing I know, there's a lot of black men that are incarcerated. So that number would definitely have to be taken out of the total number. Um, but just for sake of argument, let's just say there's uh for every I'll just say every 100 women, black women, you have and like I said, this is probably not the correct number. Let's just say it's 80. Let's just say it's 80 per 100. So you got 100 women and you got 80 men. So that number is going to be off, I'm sure. But let's just say that's the ratio. And then you take off another 10. Then you would have 70 men to 100 women. So now looking at that number, looking at that total number, and looking at the breakdown, yes, we all know that there's a difference. There's more women than it is men, black. We know that, okay? And the reason why I brought that up is because if you look at if you know that there's a much lower black male rate than there are black women, then yeah, I mean, it's almost like a competition thing, and it's a lot harder to probably find a black man or black man to be a husband or whatever the case may be. Okay, so like I said, I'm in an older age range than a lot of the females that were sending messages. And so here's my solution. And it's not, look, everything I do on here is my opinion. I I'm not a professional in this, and I'm not a Kevin Samuels. Even though I like Kevin Samuels, I know a lot of women didn't like him because they felt like he was harsh. And but I think the what people tend to miss, and my wife didn't like him either. But what I think with women, and we had these conversations, but what women had tend to miss about what he was saying was, and this is the core. This is really the core of what he was saying. There's high value men, there's very little high value black men. Um, but there's men out here that's making 40, 50,000, all the way, all the way on up. But the men that's making probably 40, $50,000 are probably more plentiful. And then, from that point on, probably from maybe 50 or 60 to 100 is even smaller. So the one thing that Kevin Samuels was always saying was about women, and I see it's a lot. We have some. Look, I'm not prejudiced or anything like that, but black women are some of the most beautiful. And I'll rephrase that. They are the most beautiful women on this planet. And look, I know people are not gonna like that. Hey, I'm a black man, so if I said anything less than that, something is wrong. And but that's what I 100% feel, that black women are the most beautiful. I mean, the ranges. Just look at the ranges. I mean, we go from damn near looking white to blue, to damn near blue. Because I know some blue people. Um, and we have beautiful women just in all shades and sizes, and so saying that, I'm this is just my, like I said, is my personal opinion. Um, in referencing Kevin Samuels, I will reference him. Women need to learn how to work with black men. And listen, I know there's some scumbags out there. I know there's some guys that just, listen. But I will say this, ladies. I will say this. If you get a decent guy, if you get a decent guy, and he may not be up on his cleanliness, he may not speak the best, he but let's just say he go to work every day, he kept a job, he keep a job, and I'm not going to even say about broke, because it's a struggle out here for all of us. So i'm I'm just being honest about it. It's a struggle for all of us. So look, if he's making 40,000 and you're making 40,000, as long as you're not throwing your money away, you should be able to live an okay life. I mean, I know that's not a lot of money, because I mean, there's people out here that make $80,000 in a month. I mean, so, but everybody's not going to have a 1% man that's making, $250,000 a year. Everybody, it's just not going to happen. And that's why, of course, Kevin Samuels was saying that these guys have options, and they do exercise their options. They deal with multiple women. But here's the thing. You can't you can't I mean, basically what I'm saying is women do need to learn how to be able to live with a man. And I mean, that's another thing that I'll go into. Of course, if you didn't have relationships, that there's certain things. I mean, you could tear a man down. I mean, and you probably wouldn't even know. You probably wouldn't even know it. When you are disrespectful to your man, and this is just for the ladies, when you're disrespectful to your man, I mean, just think, just certain things. I mean, it starts. It's like he getting lashed in his back. And some guys you can't really tell, and some guys won't really they won't show it on their faces, but in their hearts it's hurtful. And if you keep doing it, you're really gonna lose that person. So just like a man can talk a woman down, women can talk men down too. And when I say you should learn uh, how to be with a man. Um, Look, when a couple when you first get together, you don't really know how this person is 100%, even if y'all dated for a year. You don't know, and because living together is totally different from just dating, so you don't know that person's ways, they don't know yours. Man, it's a whole bunch of compromise. That's what it's all about, compromise. So, you as far as arguing all the time, no man likes that. I mean, and if he do like to argue, then like I say, he may need to just go to the other side, because most men just don't want to argue, you know. Um, and I'm also pretty confident that most women don't want to argue, just be arguing all the time. But compromise is a major part of a relationship. And if you think that you can't compromise at some point, then that's a good possibility you'll stay single. Um, so man, look, relationships can be hard. They can be, because there's always times where you can um you can come in and just one thing could go wrong. But let me actually get back to the guys, okay? So when you're dealing with a guy, um, look, I'm not gonna say, I think I don't watch enough videos to see that a lot of women are delusional, you know, and when you have women talking about their tens, and I mean, I didn't even heard him say the 11. So I mean, and then a guy would say, "Ma'am," and I ain't gonna say a guy. I'll say Kevin Samuels would definitely say, like, "Ma'am, you barely striking six," you know, and so yeah, that's probably hurtful to hear somebody say that, but a lot of women do. I mean, you just basically you just, if you feel like you look good, you feel like you deserve to have more than what you probably deserve to have. And look, look, I'll just say, in my opinion, that you can feel like you want whatever it is you want. But there's always sacrifices that you're gonna make. If you do want somebody that's making a lot of money, and all the guys that make a lot of money, there's guys that make a lot of money that's uh that's good husbands, and they won't be messing around on their wives and stuff like that. Um, but I mean, that's just what it is. Now, of course, this is not my thing to talk about this stuff, but I wanted to talk about this because, like I said, it's dealing with Facebook, and it's just weird how things are happening. And I'm talking about the relationship side of things because I just feel like, you know, it 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 can be a lot easier than people make it out to be. If you're a person that want to fight all the time, it's gonna be hard for you to keep somebody, and I don't care whether that's a man or a woman. Um, if you can't learn to compromise, if you have kids, and I'm not one of those guys that feel like you can't be a good stepdad, because I know guys that don't want to do no, they don't want to be stepdads. They're not going to even want to raise your kids. Not saying that that's friends of mine, because I raised daughters, and I'm still doing it. That's not my blood. And but of course I don't look at children like that. I just don't. I mean, children are children. God put them here, and whether if you're a person that don't want to raise a, look, that's not, you're not a bad person because you don't want to. Um, and it's just, I just don't believe, if you don't want to raise somebody else's kids, then you find your woman that don't have no kids. Um, but I don't believe you're a bad person if you feel that way. Uh, just the same, I don't. I don't really care about, people. Oh, that's not your daughters and all. No, they are my daughters. You know, I spent the time and raised them, and yes, they are my daughters, and I'm sure they'll agree with that. You know, so I mean, I know I done touched on a lot of things. Let me also go. Let me also go back to the profile. Okay, ladies, when you and I know some guys may be like, man, shut up, don't say that, just like look, I'm sure some guys are not gonna like me saying this. If you see married on a person's profile, on a man's profile, in my opinion, keep going. Keep going. I mean, there's guys I'm sure that are hitting up women. They have married on their profile. Basically what I'm saying is everybody don't work the same way. And listen, this is a hard video for me because I know I really value my brothers and my cousins, and trust me, if they see this video, they gonna definitely have some things to say to me that I'm sure it's not gonna be good, but one thing about me, when it comes down to my convictions, I don't care. This is my conviction, so this is what I need to do. Um, so, just getting back, if a man's profile or a woman's profile says married, keep going. Because we just talked about the numbers. We just talked about uh, how many men it is, how many women it is to men. So there is an imbalance. But I will say, for a decent guy, it's really not hard to keep him happy. It's really not. I'm not gonna sit here and go through everything, and that's for me that makes me happy. I'm not gonna do that because that's not my thing. But I will say that women know. Look, sometimes a guy may be a little rough around the edges, and you can help him. You can definitely help him. If he's a man that gets up and goes to work every day, and he's not beating on you, he's not cussing you out, he's not, and I know some, I done heard so many different things. Like if you're not doing that, they won't love you. And I think that's women that then had some real hurtful things going in their lives. It's probably as kids, in growing up. I believe that. I'm not a therapist, so I don't really know, but I do believe there's some hurt there somewhere if a woman feels that being cursed out and talked to any kind of way, beat on and all, if they feel like that's a good thing, they have some other things that they need to work out, and maybe therapy is the number one thing they may need to invest in that. Um, but I'll say this again. If a person's profile says something, respect it. Respect it. I had a young lady. I had a young lady today. Okay. I had took some. I had accepted some friend requests, and of course, I just started uploading videos on Facebook from my YouTube channels, and I was thinking, okay, maybe they see that, and then they're sending friend requests. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, if you're taking a picture with your bra, you're probably not just coming over to just, oh, I like your video, whatever the case may be. That's probably not the case. But here's the thing. I had one, she said hi. I said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm married." She texts back, and I figured she was, yeah, because it's smart, man. I mean, if I'm telling you I'm married, that mean I don't want to talk to you. I mean, I just we don't have nothing to talk about. Um, and if you came over with that intention, that's a bad intention, especially if you saw that on my profile that I'm married. So so basically, she said, "Well, I'm single." Okay. Well, if you're single, you shouldn't be on a married man's. You shouldn't be on my profile. Okay. And that's basically what I'm saying. You're upset because I told you I was married right in the beginning, because because I'm not talking to you like that. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. Because like I said, with me, I don't hide anything. So, and look, look, I for one, you don't want to be you don't want to be walking around the house and being suspected of things, man, because that's a miserable life, you know. Um, this is the other thing I wanted to say, and I'm gonna shut this video down because I bet you we well over 20 minutes. Um, variety, variety. I had these conversations with a couple of my family members, and man, variety ruins us. Variety ruins us, man, because once you're in a committed relationship and you're used to you're used to just having variety. If you're used to having variety, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. That's like for me, and I haven't been at a buffet in a while, so but I do like buffets. So when you go to a buffet and you sitting there and you looking, you're like, man, I want some of this, I want some of that, I want some of this, I want some of that. Now, if you go to a restaurant, you're gonna look on that menu and you're gonna order something. And it's not gonna be this, that, this, and that. You're not gonna order 7 or 8 different things. But when you go to a buffet, you're gonna test out a whole bunch of different stuff. Okay, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with women. Man, if you're dealing with a bunch of different women, how is it gonna be easy for you to just focus on one woman? That's man, it's hard. Okay, it's hard. And I'm not gonna lose my man card for this because, like I said, this is my deal. I'm talking about it. Y'all can say what you want. But one other thing I want to hit on, uh, as far as like uh men men dealing with women and just being when you're in a committed relationship. If you it's for me, in my opinion, it's really hard to deal with this one, to deal with that one, to deal with this one, to deal with that. Like I said, they got some pros out there now, men and women. I think women are better than men, you know, but there's some pros out there that can fumble, that can get it to that can do all of this. Um, but for me, I just don't have the time for that, man. And basically, I'm saying that because for me, it's just one of those things where if I can focus all my attention on my wife, and that's the one who I'm supposed to be focusing my attention on. If I can focus my attention on her, then guess what? Look, everything else that comes around, look, I'm just I'm married. And look, man, look, it's hard out there because women don't really care if you're married or not. If they see that you'll play with them, you're gonna be playing, and then you're gonna get yourself in a bind. And guys that have money, that's one of the dumbest things you can do, you know. And everybody laughs when that song "It's Cheaper to Keep It" comes on, but then when you're giving away half of your money, you feel played. And a lot of y'all won't do something. I'm gonna take out for what? You gonna take out for what? I don't know why you decided to go do that. So anyway, this thing went on long enough. But if some of y'all stuck around, y'all like this content, and I won't be doing this a lot like this because I usually like to make videos that are just kind of laid back, funny, stuff that makes you think. It's just like that. But this right here, I strictly did this because, like I said, I'm just weirded out by some of this Facebook stuff and the way all of these friend requests are just popping up now. And I didn't change any of my settings, so I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, I'll be going back in there and trying to tidy up some stuff because when you get 30 and 40 friend requests a day, and maybe like my cousin would say, they looking for a duck, you know, but this duck already been taken. So, it's just what I would say to women. This duck had already been taken, so he quacking, So so, all right, man. I appreciate y'all coming to check this video out. Man, hit that like and subscribe to this video if you like what I'm talking about. I mean, I usually put 2 videos out a week. Sometimes I'll get 3. I have 3 different channels that I'm working. So it can get hard at times. So, if you like it, man, like and subscribe, and I'm just being honest, man. It's not something where I'm trying to be Kevin said, because I wouldn't even be like that, because I know didn't play no games. But like I said, the core of what he was talking about was good, and just trying to bring women's expectations down a little bit, because if you of course, and I'm going back into the video, if you expect too much, then when you get, it may be the right guy for you, you get him, you're not going to appreciate him, even if he's not making that money, because one of the things women have to understand, and men, he might be making 40,000 now, but in 2 years his luck can change just like that, and he can be doing something now, he can be making 140,000 at that point. So you just got to be patient. Got to be patient. Like I said, man, I appreciate y'all watching this video. This page is "What are you doing?" And I'll check y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'll be cool.